Mark Quinn is back, and we're gonna try to restart the tag division as a division, not just the tag champs. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you meant. Jamie Hayter's not back yet.
Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the difference. Give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally live in living color. Hopefully, we are out there into the universe and you can see us, you can hear us. You know that we are here doing what we do. Welcome to the show, la-da-da-da, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Value Wrestling. This is your AEW Dynamite review for January 3rd, 2024, the first Dynamite of the new year. And we got a show. But we're going to get into all the details. We're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about it right here. Mr. Z is in the chat as we see. Please, Mr. Z, let us know if you can hear us. I'm going to get in the introductions. Good, awesome, sweet. Let's get into it. For sitting across from me tonight, the one, the only.
Paulus Clarke.
Oh, you know. And of course, you all should know me by now. I'm the one, the only, big time. Oh, you know, been busy this week putting up rants, it seems like. But now we're here with your AEW Dynamite review for January 3rd. Dynamite came on. We just had World's End, the big pay-per-view to end 2023 for AEW. High expectations were probably set in a lot of people's minds for AEW coming off a pay-per-view. And, yeah, so we started off immediately with Joe cutting a promo, talking about everything. And then we got Adam's Call music hit with the remix where we saw the words undisputed on the screen, which already sank my heart a little bit because I'm like, oh, great, we got something undisputed here. We're going to have to find out. He comes out with Roderick Strong, Wardlow, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven to the ring. This is the Devil Crew. And we get Roderick on the mic, who tells everybody to shut up and then says to his best friend and still cries, Adam. I don't know why they're continuing that gimmick at this point. Like, they can drop that. There was no reason for... It was okay before, but now that they're all a group and they're supposed to be like this serious threat, for him to still do that shit is just like... I get comedy and wrestling's okay to an extent, but now it's like, okay, we're transitioning into something a little more serious. He doesn't need to do this. Anyways, Cole gets on the mic and talks about betraying MJF. This was all set out pretty much before. When MJF was the champion, he was going to turn on MJF because MJF's going to turn on him. Adam Cole trying to be the victim, that MJF is a narcissist. But if he's going to be the devil, give him a first place ticket, or give him a first class ticket straight to hell. And he says everybody will thank him, the wrestlers, the fans, and even Tony Khan, now that MJF is gone. You know, he played up, oh, why Adam? There's plenty of reasons. And then talked about his injury. And then he introduced us to the new group. This isn't going to be the Devil's Men or the Devil and the Henchmen or Devil or this. It is the Kingdom, but now it is going to be the Undisputed Kingdom. Even though I guess you still have the original Kingdom, which was, you know, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett. But now that you added Wardlow in there and Roderick Strong was 1/4 of Undisputed Era in WWE, we're going to make it Undisputed Kingdom. I guess this is something that I can only assume this was something Adam Cole wanted more than anything. I don't see Tony Khan wanting to use the Undisputed, but I guess to upgrade the Kingdom from just one level. Of course, we did have this earlier when we had the Undisputed Elite. If we really want to go back when Adam Cole first came in, they jokingly, I mean, they didn't officially use it, but it was kind of like the Undisputed Elite. But yes, now we have the Undisputed Kingdom. And now that MJF's out of the picture, now they got to give us a reason they're here. Well, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are your Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. And Roderick Strong, for whatever reason, is little brother, and he's just going to go after the International Champion, not a man that, you know, would... Why he's not the guy going for the World Champion, I don't know. But Wardlow's going to go for the World Championship because Wardlow's everybody's BITCH. That's the role he plays. Tell me what I'm telling lies, because, you know, Adam Cole's like he's going to go win the World Champion. He hopes it's not from Slow Joe, because that's a friend. But once Adam Cole's healed and Wardlow has the World Champion, he's just going to hand it over to Adam Cole, because that's how they play Wardlow. I don't know why.
For reasons.
It was disappointing. It was kind of like we came off of World's End. We expected a big reveal. The moment wasn't all that great. He thanked Joe for doing business with him and working everything out. And then we got something interesting. Jay White appeared. Well, this was going to be interesting, I thought. And Jay White gave compliments to Adam Cole for pulling it all up, but was not happy being a part of his shenanigans. And he goes, he's not here alone, so he comes out with the guns. So we got Jay White and the guns, 3/4 of Bullet Club Gold out here, and they go in and attack the Kingdom. Wardlow makes sure Adam Cole gets out of the way while the rest fight off the guns and Jay White. And then Wardlow gets in and starts helping beat them all down. So Jay White can't beat two one-legged men, and then he gets pretty much beaten down by the Devil's Men again and his little buddies, the Guns. That they got to be saved by the Acclaimed. So here comes the Acclaimed with Billy Gunn, who are also upset because they got jumped by this group, and they get in there. Everybody part of the Undisputed Kingdom dash out of the ring. And then we get a moment that we didn't know what was really going to happen. The Acclaimed turn around with Billy Gunn to stare down the Guns and Jay White. And Jay White talks to the boys, and they all slide out and walk off. The crowd boos them as they leave. And the Acclaimed stand tall in the end. I guess the crowd chanted they wanted all these idiots to scissor. They wanted the Acclaimed to scissor with the Guns and Jay White. That's what the chant was in the crowd.
I know.
I don't know. I'm like, why are we going backwards to I mean, Jay White, we took 2 months off from this. Now we're going to be like, Jay White, who cares about the Devil? I guess the reveal is okay, but I'm like, the Acclaimed are there. It didn't really do this. This just felt like it missed on so many levels to me. I don't know. It felt lackluster. I didn't get, Adam Cole's not horrible as a promo or on the mic, but it just, I don't know if I had anything to bite my teeth into. Your thoughts on this whole opening of the show?
Adam Cole, his reasoning, we saw a mile away, which is why it fell flat. Just calling MJF a narcissist, like, well, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah.
We've known that for years. My biggest thing really was like why the audience booed Club Gold. Like, you act like that was out of character. They're not gonna scissor with the Acclaimed. That makes no bloody sense.
Well, they kind of
Like,
bring Jay White out there. It was almost because even I thought, I'm like, are they really going to turn Jay White into some babyface in this? So when he came out, you could see how you could be setting it up, but then they went back to what they were. I don't know.
which is exactly like that's their character, especially
Yes.
Jay White. That's his character. He should not be scissoring with nobody at that
No.
point.
No. It was interesting, to say the least. We're gonna have one of those shows tonight. We just can't keep speed up for whatever reason. I don't get it why tonight has to be one of those nights. Wow. Okay, now we're way up there. We stay up there. All right. Well, we'll continue on.
We can do it.
From there, we got a video package of Daniel Garcia, because Daniel Garcia is going to take on Swerve Strickland. For whatever reason, we decided that was important. Anyways, the opening match was the AEW International Championship match, Orange Cassidy versus Dante Martin. This came about because of at World's End. So here we go. We got Orange Cassidy and Dante Martin. This was a great showcase for both these guys. Good, solid match. I can't say anything really bad. It was a great wrestling match. These two guys are this is part of what AEW needs to present. They need to give us matches with some of the younger guys, like an Orange Cassidy and Dante Martin, building these guys up, giving us good classic matches. Dante with a half Nelson. OC reverses it with a crucifix pin for 1-2. No. Orange Punch misses again. Dante counters, but here he comes with another attempt. This one connects, and we get a 1-2-3. Orange Cassidy retains his title. I hope Orange Cassidy holds on to his title longer than Roman holds on to his. But anyways, and this fool gave it a 5-star match. I don't know if it's a 5-star match, but it was a good, solid match between Orange Cassidy and Dante Martin. The match went 13 minutes, 30 seconds. Orange Cassidy winning was what you expected, but Dante Martin looking good. This is what this international champion needs to be. I want to see the younger guys on this show coming up, this inner talent that AEW has that we haven't seen. This is a good showcase match. This is what AEW should somewhat be focusing on more than this randomness that doesn't necessarily make sense. Your thoughts on the match before we get into what kind of took out the match?
Here's the thing. Because his brother, not Dante, but his brother was out for so long for a while, I got so used to seeing Dante Martin as a singles guy that I don't care about Top Flight anymore as a tag team. So I was like, I want to see more matches with Dante. To me, he could be, he could be groomed to be the next AJ Styles or the next, top guy that can really go and really fly. So granted, he didn't get the win tonight. That's fine. He's got plenty of years in the business, to cultivate that fan base.
Yeah.
I'm just like you were just saying, let's see more matches like this that takes the younger guys and gives them a platform without being like our main event tonight. I just call bullshit, and we'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
But
anyways, from there, Orange Cassidy and Dante Martin looked to go shake hands. They eventually shake hands, but then you had Danhausen and Hook in the ring, and then you had Top Flight in the ring. So you had all these weird parties, and it just kind of took away from this great showcase match. Why couldn't they just shake hands and everybody leave? Why did we need all these people to come down? And then while they're all in the ring, we hear the music of Private Party. Quinn is back. Private Party's here. They're here to reintroduce themselves, and they're here to because they've been keeping tabs on the tag team division. And it's been lacking, and it's been missing some flavor. Excitement, and the Private Party are here to take on them all. And they name drop FTR, Young Bucks, the Hardys. They say New Year, New Me, but they say New Year, New Champs. Cool. Don't care. They don't feel like a threat. They don't get to come down to the ring and act like they're a threat to a tag team division that's lackluster at best. So
you don't want to give me a oh yeah.
Oh my God, no! That's as bad as Adam. I just fuck. Anyways, from there,
by the other, I'm not.
Yeah. Backstage, we have an interview with Tony Storm and Renee. Storm says her perfume is offensive to Renee. Mariah May will be wrestling tonight, and she's dying for Tony to watch her match, but Tony's not going to be there. She's leaving to go do a seance for somebody whose name I wasn't familiar with and didn't really care. And then she says lift or whatever to Luther. Luther grabs her and carries her off, and she does her chin up, tits out, and lottie dottie, goodbye, see you later. Not even an important. She just had this match with Riho, but that didn't do anything for her. Anyways, then we got a preview of what's coming for Collision. Yay, we're going to see House of Black with FTR. They're trying to make House of Black feel important with this FTR match by doing this talk here with Malachi Black, and you're just kind of like, I don't care. Like, they're going to have their moment, and then they're going to drop the ball. Like this, I feel like this House of Black FTR feud has been going on since, I don't know, last summer now at this point. Like, it's just like going on, but we don't get any payoffs on it, and I'm kind of like over it. Malachi Black tried to get personal in this, and I'm just like, I don't care. Like, you're not important. You're Malachi Black. You were supposed to be more important. Tony Khan's dropped it. Brody King and Julia Hart are more important than you are in what is supposed to be your group. You need to get out of your contract and go back to WWE and be with your wife and go over there where I think, Triple H will finally do something with you. Otherwise, this guy, I mean, it's just, I don't know how to get the care. Your thoughts on this little video package?
I get that you were tuned out for this promo, and I understand why. But did you get the idea that if House of Black wins, they will be adding members to the House of Black? Now, what that does, if it even goes that way, I understand the vote of confidence for Tony Khan's booking. I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But could you imagine FTR in House of Black?
No, because I won't care anyways. I mean, I can't get. It's like even if you put FTR there, what are they going to do? I mean, what they're going to do the Daniel Bryan part of the Wyatt family type of storyline with these two, where they're going to be good little servant boys until they get their moment to turn on them. Good storyline. It could probably make sense. It might look good with these guys, but I don't care because you're giving me Malachi Black, which Tony Khan has done nothing with, and then he starts to do something with it and it drops the ball, so it's hard to get invested. And this is where FTR is falling.
I understand. This
is where FTR is falling down to. I'm kind of like, nah. They might want to unfuck the Revival.
Lord.
Well, they'd be better loved under a Triple H regime in WWE. I'm just saying.
By the same token, if FTR wins, what does that do for them? It's like, okay, you beat House of Black, and
it's cool. Yeah, I don't think it does anything for anybody. It's just keeping these guys busy because Tony doesn't know how to do anything. It's all it is. It's a busy moment. I don't know how that's going to end, and I don't know if I care. And it's on Collision, so it's not even like when you do things like that. Why is this not at World's End or at Revolution? Why is there not a pay-per-view quality match for that type of stipulation?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Swerve is backstage with Renee. She asked about 2024. He talks about, and we were with Prince Nana. And Garcia gets his respect. He's a Blue League guy, which is beneath him, I guess. I don't know. Swerve's basically here to win titles, and he calls out Joe directly. And you get Swerve and you get Nana. You were probably happy because Nana danced and then asked whose house it was. And that was probably the exciting part of all that. From there, we got Mariah May versus Queen. What's her name? Aminata.
Queen Aminata.
Amanita. I don't want to get a guy. I don't want to care.
You got it the first time.
Anyways, we get a match. This match went 6 minutes, 37 seconds. Mariah May kind of got her showcase, I guess, here. I don't know if it was the best match for anybody, but it was what it was. Queen hits the corner, runs, and hits yet another elbow. She goes for another one, but she did hit. Mariah May did hit a beautiful sling blade, and then she hit the Fireman's into a Mayday for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Solid debut, but don't care. Your thoughts?
I wanted to see Mariah May get a better showcase. It should have basically been a squash match to show what she can do, as opposed to a competitive match. I was a little disappointed. Like, this is her debut. We're supposed to be putting shine on her, not. She's here.
So after the match, we get Renee in the ring with Mariah May. Mariah May is like, I can't believe you. I won my debut, and I wanted to be a West Coast since I was a little kid. She hopes Tony Storm is watching, yada yada. Mariah May, and she only regrets that she had to do it here in Jersey, which brings out the hometown girl and one, Deanna Peraza. Deanna Peraza comes out as a virtuoso.
Perazo. For some reason, I always had to put an A at the end of her name.
Perazo.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Oh, not an
A. And so she's here.
Don't mess with wifey.
As for Mariah May, Deanna has a message she can pass along to Storm. It doesn't matter where she runs or hides. Deanna will find her. She's all elite, and they are in the age of the virtuoso. Ugh. Mariah May says she isn't the messenger. She'll tell her yourself, bitch. Cool. I know it's a big moment for people who are Deanna Peraza fan, but I mean, I think she's in the right place, honestly. Out of the two that are out there between Deanna and Mercedes Moné, I'm more worried about Mercedes Moné coming into AEW because I really don't see who you put her in a feud with other than Toni Storm, and I feel like you rush her to the title. There's not a Britt Baker here to kind of get Mercedes Moné into AEW. Deanna Peraza is better fitted. I mean, she can at least feud with Mariah May as the two newcomers. She can build her way up and get involved there. Mm-hmm. But I'm worried about the other one. But as everybody said, everybody out there was like, oh, Tasha or Mercedes Moné is signed with AEW. She should be here tonight. Well, sorry to tell you. Sorry about your damn luck, but you was wrong. Go ahead. You can go. Talk about wifey.
I don't have to do any real talking, really. She does it for me. Just her presence alone. Now, I was a little perplexed on her fashion choice tonight, but that's neither here nor there, ultimately.
Yeah.
Usually she's a little more grandiose.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Like you said, she was the hometown girl tonight. That's probably why they debuted her here tonight. Obviously, the first feud can be with Mariah May. So we go from there.
Yep. Miguel C's laughing at you. Ha ha ha, wifey, huh?
I've been saying, off air anyways. I've been saying that. I mean, okay, so her music hits, I'm like, whatever, because I didn't know what her AEW music was going to be. Then you see Deanna Peraza, the virtuoso, I'm like, wifey! Yes!
Be careful, Miguel. Like, be careful, Mr. Z. Don't upset the Clarke. He might come down and lay the smackers down on you. He might reach through the virtual. He might reach through the virtual computer and hit the magic button.
If TK messes with wifey, I will go 100% mark on his rear. If he messes up her creative, I will go 100% mark on him. And Miguel, you know what that means.
Anyways, now we're here for the whatever it was, something with Christian Cage that they talked to the I forgot. I forgot what they called it. They called it something, and it's blanking my mind, and they didn't put it down here. So, anyways, Christian Cage is out with the family. Here we have Nick Wayne, Mama Wayne, and Killswitch. And before Christian can talk, Mommy Wayne grabs the mic and goes, "You boo me? You boo a mother?" I'm like, okay, how dare us? Ooh, you're so scary. I want to see you get bitch slapped. Anyways, we get the rundown. And then this even kind of just fell flat. It didn't really progress anything forward. It didn't really go anywhere else but Christian doing his Christian thing. Your thoughts?
It was what it was, and you're going to see that Mama Wayne is going to just say the same stuff every promo over and over, because one, it works, because it is irritating to hear. So Tony Khan say, "Oh, that's fantastic work," because it gets out under everyone's skin. Yes, it's also repetitive as heck.
Yes, she does have go home
that
heat.
The audience is, go away heat for show. The fact that they're chanting Luchasaurus for Killswitch, the story's writing itself. We already knew where that was going. It is what it is. Christian, like you said, it didn't progress anything. So I was hoping for a new challenger to step up and say, all right, now that we're done with Adam Copeland, at least for the time being, they will probably circle back at some point.
No, we don't.
But I was hoping someone would step up and say,
No.
I want to challenge for the TNT title now.
No, we're not focused on the TNT title. No. We're going to focus on the Continental Crown Championship or the Triple Crown, which I don't know what they confused me so bad tonight. But that's the title they're going to focus on right now.
Clearly.
Joe had a pre-show package and then was never on the show, so we never heard really much from anything from Joe. We had a bunch of people say, we want Joe. Wardlow wants Joe, because, hey, who doesn't want to see Wardlow and Joe part 5, 6, and 7, or whatever we're at now? I mean, we saw them fight how many times now? And now we're going to do it. We're going to repeat history for the world title. And, of course, Swerve wants him, but after tonight, I mean, I almost thought they were going to take Swerve down a peg. They almost confused me there. Anyway, the big match they announced tonight, Takeshita versus Darby Allin, or if you're Jim Cornette, take a shit. But,
take a shit, huh?
Yeah. This is a good, solid match. Darby Allin looked good. Takeshita looked good in this. Takeshita to the top rope. He left Darby Allin in a clutch. German suplex off the top rope. Darby once more. Running knee from Takeshita. We got the Darby Allin. It's like, no, you got to take me out. And Takeshita did. A good, solid match. 12 minutes, 47 seconds. So we get that. A good, solid match. After the match, we get the Don Callis family. They cut a promo. Takeshita goes off in Japanese, and Don tells Darby to bring Sting for some tag team action at Daly's Place next week. But a good, solid showing between Takeshita and Darby Allin. Takeshita winning is probably the right thing here. If you're a Darby Allin fan, I get it. You might be upset, but Takeshita needs to win. He needs to keep looking as big of a threat for Don Callis as he can be. Your thoughts?
Exactly, because when Takeshita was a face before the Don Callis family, they would hype him up so much, but they wouldn't make him look good.
Yeah.
Or it's like he barely squeaked by or whatever. And now that it's with the Don Callis family, it's like you knew he had to go over if you want them to take him seriously. And I am a Darby Allin fan, so I was like, I'd like Darby to win, but I see the creative, I see the point behind giving Takeshita the win.
Yeah. From there, we got Eddie Kingston. He's here. Go ahead.
The thing is, I was going to say is Darby Allin is not going to really take a hit in
No. Doesn't hurt him.
He's not going to be any less popular because he lost this one particular match.
No.
Like
there we
exactly.
Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Okay. From there, we have Eddie Kingston. He's here for some action. And up next, as we were told, we're going to have a 4-way dance in a Continental Crown Eliminator Challenge. The winner of this match is going to get their shot on Collision. So just a week ago, we crowned a new Continental Champion, and now we're going to have him defend the title right away because we're picking 4 guys, not because... if Eddie Kingston would have just came out here and go, I want an open challenge, somebody come up and show me on Collision what you got, I might have been okay with that if Eddie Kingston was just doing like an open challenge. But the need to have 4 guys come and wrestle to get a competitor for him on Collision, I'm just like, do we really need to do this? Is this how we're going to do everything? And again, then we got 4 guys, and I'm like, why are any of these guys competing for this title? Why couldn't they have taken 4 of the guys? Why couldn't they have taken Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, Daniel Garcia, and either Roosh or Brody King or somebody and had them fight for this match? At least I would have felt there was a little more validity to it, because it's like now we got 4 low-end jobbers. We had Trent Beretta, who's great in the ring, but he's not been placed anywhere to really feel of great importance. Brian Cage, who they just totally misuse. He needs to go to WWE and get into it with Brock Lesnar, because Brian Cage is just, it's a joke at this point. He's just a guy there to look big and scary and gets beat up by everybody. El Vikingo, whatever his name is, who I don't really care about, was here to do all the flippy flying moves. And then you had Brian Keith, who's who? The bounty hunter who? What bounty hunter is he hunting? And scary, they almost made me think he was going to win for a brief second. In the end, Keith did a double underhook. Trent lifts up the locks, legs, and heads and drops Keith on his head. And it looked scary, too, the way he dropped that boy on his head. Got the cover. Trent Beretta wins. We're going to get Trent Beretta versus Eddie Kingston at Collision for the Continental Crown This match went 9 minutes 40 seconds. It was a good match, kind of. I mean, it was just. I mean, it was what a 4-way match in AEW is not anything to really get excited about, unfortunately. But Trent Beretta is good. I don't want to take anything away from Trent Beretta, but maybe they're starting to build him up or do something with him. I don't know what, or why all of a sudden. But they're giving Trent Beretta a good thing here. Trent Beretta and Eddie Kingston should give us a decent match. Why we're defending this title already, I don't know. And is it a Triple Crown title or is it the Continental Crown? Is it one title? Is it 3 titles? They kept confusing me because they kept calling it, oh, they're going to get a title match for the Continental Crown championship. And then Tony Schiavone's like, yeah, El Vikingo, who's champion of whatever, could come out with 3 more belts. So I'm like, so are we fighting for the Triple Crown or are we fighting for the Continental Crown? Or is the Continental Crown what we're calling the 3 titles now? I'm so confused. And it pisses me off.
I could be wrong. I understand. I could be wrong, but I think they're calling the Triple Crown and the Continental Crown the same thing for all intents and purposes. But they're putting the emphasis on the AEW property of the Continental Crown. Even though it's supposed to be the 3 title, you know.
And this is where I go.
It's silly. It is.
It diminishes the New Japan title, and I don't know how long New Japan can be okay with that. And it diminishes the Ring of Honor title, and Tony Khan's trying to get a TV deal for Ring of Honor. But how are you going to have Ring of Honor when you can't have your world champion? How do you even have a Ring of Honor pay-per-view now without a world champion? I mean, if he was like the TV champion and this was a Triple Crown with the TV champion, you might be okay with it. But how can you have your Ring of Honor World Championship tied up into a Triple Crown that Eddie Kingston's got to defend all 3 titles? So how do you even make Ring of Honor feel important ever again if you don't have a world title or a world champion for Ring of Honor? That's a singles title. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I just don't understand Triple Crown, but that's also Tony Khan's fault because he doesn't teach us anything about what it means to be a Triple Crown. No background, no history. We just get into this crap, and it's like, I don't care. I love Eddie, and Eddie's great, and Eddie deserves this, and I love it, but I'm like, I'm over this Continental Crown, Triple Crown bullshit, and then I'm like, what are you going to do if Tony Khan wants Ring of Honor, and this is the whole deal, he wants AEW and Ring of Honor packaged together, he wants to get Ring of Honor TV deal, how are you going to have a show, he's a AAA champion of some sort, yes, I got that, I don't really care, Vikingo doesn't mean anything to me,
The mega weight champion.
But I'm like, how are you going to bring Ring of Honor back? How do you even have, I mean, how do they even have Ring of Honor pay-per-views now? And not have a world champion defending the title? Somebody explain this to me. I mean, how do you do this?
I'm under the assumption that he's supposed to defend it at Ring of Honor shows also, because he is, because within that Triple Crown is the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship.
It'll be the AEW Crown. It won't be the Ring of Honor World Champion.
I know what you're saying from a marketing perspective.
So, I mean, and how are you going to rebuild Ring of Honor when you basically just shitted on the hardcore fans that are Ring of Honor fans at heart? Because, I mean, that's kind of shitting on them, taking their title and throwing it into this, and they're not really going to get the Ring of Honor World Champion. Yes, it's tied into that, but it's not what they're going to sell it as. Ring of Honor's dead. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
To figure out.
Ring of Honor's dead. Tony Khan just needs to bury it and create the video library and put it out there for everybody to see it and never talk about Ring of Honor again. Let's get rid of all the Ring of Honor titles and be done with it. Ring of Honor's dead. If you don't have a world champion, a single title world champion, if you can't have somebody win that one title, that means they have to carry 3 titles and then they have to go everywhere else. Then it's not a Ring of Honor person. And Ring of Honor should be some type of place where you're working with new, younger talent, and then they can come to the main or the AEW roster or whatever. But having it tied into this Triple Crown thing, it's dumb. And I don't know how you have Claudio Castagnoli, Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, these names that are former Ring of Honor champions that take great pride in what Ring of Honor does and everything they did in Ring of Honor, and look at this and can just be okay with what this means and not kind of go, hey, wait a minute. And I don't know how Bryan Danielson can be a right-hand man to Tony Khan and go, Tony, you're going to screw up Ring of Honor if you don't have a world champion. A single world champion, not a champion who has 3 titles that's defending these titles all over the place. Because they're not focusing, they're not selling the other two titles. It's the Continental Crown for the Triple Crown. They don't talk about the other titles.
Right.
Your thoughts on this match?
Really didn't care just because of who was involved. It's like, cool,
Exactly.
it's going to get fed to Eddie Kingston. Now
Yes.
it's the real problem. Like, no matter who won, they're just going to be fed to Eddie Kingston. And hopefully, Trent Beretta has the skills to make it an entertaining match.
Yeah.
But you already know the results of this one.
Yeah. It's just, I'm like, why are we already creating a tournament or already having a 4-way dance? And why did it have to be a 4-way dance? Why couldn't we get a 1-on-1? Why couldn't we get some of the guys that were already in the Classic? Like, let's give them a second chance. Hell, at least give me Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal again for a second chance at this title. Mark Briscoe versus Eddie Kingston. Jay Lethal versus Eddie Kingston would have been fine and understandable. Even though they would have been fed to Eddie Kingston, at least you can have some significance other than 4 random, totally random people that I'm like, okay, so how, what makes these people qualified to be in a match to earn a shot at the Continental class or the Continental the Continental Crown? I don't even know if they call it the Continental Crown. I don't know if it's the Continental Crown Championship or the Continental Crown. I don't know. Don't care. They're already pissing me off with
All the
it.
above work.
But I'm like, why did these 4 people come? I mean, I don't know. I'm just I don't know how to put anything positive on that aspect other than the match was okay. We're backstage with Renee, and she's there with Matt Menard, or the New Age Butcher, Barber, the Barber Butcher, Brutus Beefcake. There we go. I can talk. I promise. She was there with Matt Menard, the Brutus Beefcake lookalike.
I'm like, I don't know where you get the beefcake reference for him, but okay.
He looks like Brutus to me. He looks like Brutus. Anyways, they were going to start an interview, and then Hangman comes up, and he's pissed off. He knows who the devil is, and Joe had the devil jump him, so he wants Joe. He wants everybody. He wants to fight. He might fight Menard, and then we go to a commercial. Then from there, we got the main event of the night. We got Swerve Strickland versus Daniel Garcia, because why? I don't know. Maybe it's what we needed to do. It's maybe what we wanted. I don't know who wanted it. I guess the internet fans of Tony Khan said, we want to see Swerve and Daniel Garcia. It was an okay match. We got the stupidest thing in the middle of this match. All of a sudden, in the middle of this match, we decided to have Daniel Garcia and Nana have a dance-off, which I guess everybody expected.
I mean, 5 miles away. Come on.
Anyways, in the end, Swerve wins. They almost made you think Daniel Garcia was going to pull it off briefly there, but he didn't. They gave him a ton of, I mean, I don't know what they're doing. Like, they tried to make Daniel Garcia look super Cena level. He took some of Swerve's best moves, and Swerve had to keep hitting him. And eventually he dropped some pretty good on his head, too. He got the house call. He's done. Helped Nelson into a package driver. 1, 2, 3. And that was a brutal looking package driver. I'm surprised Daniel Garcia got up and walked away from that. Anyways, it was a decent match. It's what you get between Swerve and Daniel Garcia. They had to throw in the stupid dance cut off between him and Nana, which was just stupid. I mean, you're trying to have a serious match. It's supposed to be your main event, and you want to stop and have a dance off. Why Daniel Garcia? You'll never get over it because you have this gimmick right now. And until they make you the serious wrestler that you are, or put you in the Blackpool Combat Club or something, I don't know. Anyway, Swerve, after the match, Swerve reaches out his hand for a handshake, and Garcia starts to put his hand out, but Nana hits him with the low blow. And yeah, then Menard's not happy. He runs in. Swerve with a nut shot. Prince Nana on the mic. And we'll hold there before we go any further. What did you think of this match before we get to the other clusterfuck of a night that just doesn't make sense, and I don't know why we're going this direction?
My problem is not with the match itself. It's not with the performers. It's the way the commentators are trying to sell Daniel Garcia like he was an MVP of the Continental Classic. And no, he was not.
Why are they doing that? He beat Brody King, and all of a sudden he's like this magical guy. And of course, it's like, oh, without Daniel Garcia, Eddie Kingston would have been. Huh?
One match, that's it.
Well, if he wanted to beat Brody King, then Eddie Kingston wouldn't have been able to get in the finals. I'm like, whoopee freaking do. They did more for Daniel Garcia than Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal, and that's the bullshit part of it.
The thing to me though is like he wasn't this big thing. He lost every match but one. So why are you trying to make him bigger than he actually is? That you built him. I understand the story they're trying to tell in respect to, him. Even though he's taking these losses, he's still learning and he's still growing as a wrestler. Cool, fine, but don't make him bigger than he actually is based on the credit you've given him.
Yes, but
the problem seems to be his gimmick. I don't care about the gimmick one way or another. I care about the wins and losses.
Yeah, well, but it's
more wrestling based in that respect.
It's not. I don't like the gimmick because I'm just like stupid because he has more. He has more of a presence to do something that's more serious than hey, let me dance. And then he's been presented. He was part of Blackpool Combat Club. Was going to align with Bryan Danielson, and then he traded and joined with Jericho. And he felt viable. He felt like a threat before he ever went into the dancing gimmick. It's like he was here where he would have been a viable threat in that Continental Classic. But then when they started this dancing gimmick, his whole volatility and winning and losing fell off. And it's like, then he was in the Continental Classic. Now you're trying to put him in the ring with Swerve. And it's like, yeah. And then they tried to give him this showcase where he was kicking out of every fucking Swerve bit. And I'm like, I want to see Daniel Garcia do good. Nothing against him. I think he's a great wrestler. And I wish he would get back to wrestling. When he's being fed the Swerve, I'm just like, you don't need to make him look supernova here. He doesn't need to be like, Super Cena, I'm going to kick out of everything. You're going to have to kill me. Just like, I'm like, I don't buy it. You haven't built him this way. He doesn't get to come out of the Continental Classic where he got one lucky win, in all honesty, to be a threat to Swerve. No.
Exactly. And that's why like I said earlier in this show, I'm like, well, once we get to the main event, we'll talk about it. But this was bullshit. Just like I said, the way the commentators were trying to sell it, and then the fact that like you knew he was just going to be fed to Swerve anyways, no matter what they did in this match. And
they just kept letting him kick out. I was just like, why? Why do we need all these kickouts? Oh, because we got that 5-minute overrun or more. I think we went about 6 or 7 minutes overrun by the time all this shit was done. Oh, we need an overrun. Why? Because Tony Khan can't book a fucking show. Anyways, now that one's going to get on the mic, and guess what? We got Hangman Adam Page's music. Yes, Hangman Adam Page is here to do cowboy shit. And he comes in and he goes right after Swerve, and they start fighting. Security breaks him up. Hangman breaks loose, starts beating him, and then they hold him back, and then Swerve breaks loose. And we get the stupid brawl as the show goes off the air, and this is stupid. Why are we going back to this feud? I thought Swerve was supposed to be feuding with Keith Lee right now because Keith Lee has the injury. Okay, Keith Lee can't wrestle right now for whatever reason. We don't know why. Keith Lee needs to leave AEW. Go back to WWE. Go back with his wife. Why am I getting Hangman Adam Page and Swerve again now? Why are we going to start this feud back up? We went through the tournament. We counted off. Hangman already got embarrassed at Full Gear by Swerve. He got choked out by a chain. This Swerve has attacked his family. You had this Texas death match, and Hangman got beat. He's been beaten twice by Swerve. Yes, we can have part 3. Hangman gets his win, but how? What match can you possibly give me that's going to be bigger than the last match? How do you top that match at this point? And don't fucking even tell me you're going to have one of those fucking stupid AEW explosive barbed wire, catch fire, super death match bullshit crap that is stupid and retarded that you already fucked up once before.
You and say that. I was going to mess you and say that.
So I'm like pissed because by the end of the show, I'm having Hangman and Swerve fight, and I'm like, we're going back to something like everything just got paused so we could have this Continental Classic, and now Tony wants to go, okay, we're on pause, let's go back to all that we were doing before. And I don't need to see Hangman and Swerve back in
scheduled programming.
I don't need to go back to Hangman and Swerve now. Swerve has beaten this man twice in a row. So what validity are you going to give me to make Hangman feel like he's going to be a threat to Swerve? And how do you top their last insane match where we had Hangman drinking Swerve's blood? I mean, how do you top that? What match can you fucking give me that's going to top that? Because Hangman just beating Swerve isn't going to redeem Hangman. Like, you have to have something that outshines. I mean, the Hangman has, I don't know, a buried alive match? Is that what we're going for? Is he going to have to bury Swerve alive? I mean, you have to go so far extreme now from what they last did for Hangman to be viable, for the win to mean something, to have him have his redemption moment. You've taken the match. They had their first match, and then you took that match here. Now you got to go up here somewhere and figure out how to, outdo all that to make because if you just have a one-on-one match and Hangman wins, ooh, cool, Hangman won, but that's not going to really redeem his arc. That's not really going to make Hangman. I mean, Hangman lost to this man who got choked out after this man broke into his house and got near his baby. And I'm sorry, as a father, what Swerve did would be like, I'm going to kill you. And Hangman didn't kill him. So what are you going to do now? What are you going to do to the man who embarrassed you in front of the world and made you look like a BTICH because you couldn't go out there and defend the honor of your family in the ring? You got choked out by a chain. Somebody come, tell me how you make a match bigger than that. That's not going to be stupid. I hope Tony Khan's not bringing back the explosive.
I can't give you a serious answer.
I hope Tony Khan's not going back to that explosive ring bullshit. Like he's figured out how to make it work. I don't need to see it. Don't care to see it. But I don't know how you're going to go back to this feud now. Like if you revisited this, like maybe in August, maybe it would have been cooled down enough that you could come back around to it and mean something and come up with something. But I mean, we're barely 2 months removed from Full Gear. That match is still going to be fresh in everybody's mind. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you top it. Your thoughts on all this cluster of and that, and it killed everything that you just did with Daniel Garcia and Swerve. Like bringing out Hangman, you're just like, really? Like, why couldn't they just end with Swerve and Daniel Garcia? Why did we need Hangman at the end? We got Hangman in the middle of the show going, I wanted a match, but he never got a match. He just decided, I don't know. We needed a 5-minute overrun so Hangman and Swerve could beat the snot out of each other. Sort of. What did you think of this?
I'm kind of like you. It's like circling back to this is too soon. I don't know, and I don't know what you do with them.
Yeah, I don't know what level you.
They're going to go like the GCW style of deathmatch with light twos and actually that's more CZW style. And like, even there's like you don't need that for AEW. Doesn't need to follow that particular blueprint.
No.
So I don't know.
I don't know why we're even reintroducing that. I don't even know why Hangman needed to be on the show tonight. You haven't used Hangman for anything since he lost to Swerve. He popped up a couple weeks ago briefly, but he wasn't on the pay-per-view. He wasn't in the Continental Classic. He's been probably drinking his sorrows away because he got choked out like a BITCH, period. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's a fact. I mean, he got punked out. And I don't know, the only way to redeem him is to have him, I don't know, eviscerate Swerve. I mean, I don't know what you do. Maybe a buried alive match. I guess you're going to have to bury Swerve somehow. I don't know. I really don't know. Just don't drink his blood again. That's fucking for sure.
Damn.
Tony Khan needs to be... Yeah. Tony Khan needs to be boot slapped for allowing that to happen, and if anything like that happens again, then I mean, I don't know.
Because it doesn't matter if it was real blood or fake blood. The point is that it still came from the face, which means still had the what am I looking for?
I don't care.
It wasn't on the skin. You know what I'm saying?
This wasn't a vampire movie. This wasn't some vampire horror movie. This wasn't some Queen of the Damned or the Dawn to Dust type of movie thing. Like this. There was no purpose. Like there was nothing to be like. Why? I don't even know what.
Was shock value.
Cool.
You know why? Shock value. That's it.
And that's what AEW. And that sums up what AEW is good at. They like the shock value, and that's pretty much what Tony Khan is all about. He's a fucking little kid with daddy's money that wants to go look at what I could do. And then he destroys wrestling single-handedly, and he's about to lose his own TV network because I'm guaranteeing you WWE and Warner Brothers Discovery is probably coming out. What Triple H's big announcement tomorrow? There's so many possible things that it could be. It's insane what is going on. But we'll have to wait for that tomorrow night. But yeah, we see what Tony Khan's doing in the wrestling. This is what happens when you have a fanboy who doesn't know what he's really doing. Who's only, but I don't know.
Only time he knew what he was doing when his competition was later years Vince.
Well, when Vince was shitting all over the fans, Tony Khan was the best thing going. And now that Triple H is giving him competition and Tony wants to cry like a baby, like, oh, it's hard to fight the Juggernaut. You're doing fine until you started obsessing over crap. Now,
Well, he's still, afraid for his life and all.
no, AEW is the safest place to work. They have the safest record in professional wrestling. They have the safest business practice out of in the whole wide world. They are completely safe, and that's when you tell them, man, you're a freaking liar, because you can't tell me that you have the safest place in the industry. You have the safest place to work in wrestling when you're sitting there just a couple months ago going, I was afraid for my life. It was so scary and dangerous, and oh my God, people were throwing monitors, and it was great. You had a brawl out between your major stars. You had a dog's teeth get knocked out of its mouth, and then you had one of the wrestlers from that thing attack another wrestler backstage and then come after you, and then you said you're scared for your life, but you're going to say, "Oh, our safety record's great." Tony Khan, you're a buffoon. Everybody sees through it, and if any, everybody can think, "Oh, don't. Tony Khan's doing good. There's good things in there, yes, but he's not. I'm sorry if you're not calling out Tony Khan, going, okay, we're done with the great Tony Khan. There's a sense of trying to put a spin of positive on things. There is this trying to believe in the positive side of things, in trying to be like, things are good, we're doing things, but when your things are just not that great, you can't sit here and say, oh, we're great, we're the best at this, we're great at this, we're doing great things, we got great ticket sales. As you're going to smaller and smaller venues, you can't tell me it's great.
Obviously, Tony Khan goes to the school of political spin, because that's exactly what he's doing. Even when the people can see that it's BS, he's still trying to spin things.
I don't even know if it's political spin. I just think he believes his own hype. I believe he gets on the internet with the core group, and they tell him, they force feed him all this. He's got people that I think just like to troll him and go, oh, you're good, Tony. Tony, you're awesome. This is the best wrestling ever. And the rest of the world's going, no. Either be wrestling and give us wrestling in the ring and cut out all your stories, or make your stories and everything make sense. Be one or the other, or learn how to blend them together in the right way. You're eclectically all over the place, and sorry, Tony, when the majority of the wrestling community is coming at you going, hey, this is wrong, and trying to give you criticism and trying to say this doesn't work, like, why are we going back to Hangman and Swerve? And how are you going to top it? Hopefully they answer that. But there's a lot of things that go into that are just... In a year from now, AEW live from Bingo Hall. No, they have Daly's Place. They will be in Daly's Place, which they will be next week. But they will always have Daly's Place. They won't go to a Bingo Hall. And maybe going back to Daly's Place is the right thing for them to reestablish themselves. And I wouldn't put them in a Bingo Hall, because that would be distasteful, and that would kind of be spitting on Paul Heyman and ECW if you put them in a Bingo Hall. The Bingo Hall is synonymous with ECW. You know where AEW is going to wind up? It's going to wind up in the high school gymnasiums.
Oh, hell.
On a high school tour. That's where AEW will be for a year from now, the way it's going. It'll be at your local high school. It'll be in your local VA, your local VFW halls, and it'll be at your local American Legions. Hey, at least the Young Bucks and all those guys won't be able to fly off the top rope because it'll be too close to the ceiling.
Oh, Lord. Jesus.
It's okay. Hey, next year, Miguel will go to the Stanislaus County Fair, because I'm sure AEW Live will be there. They'll probably be doing an airing of Collision. We'll go Saturday night, see Collision live at the county fair. $30 entrance fee, get free tickets to AEW.
Okay, I think we need to end this show before we just start bagging on AEW.
I just want Tony Khan to do what he used to do. Get back to what was good about AEW. Whatever this crap is that just doesn't make sense. You had World's End, and then you come off and you don't pay off the pay-per-view. There's just nothing tonight really paid off from the pay-per-view. There we go. I mean, yes, we got sort of an Adam Cole explanation, but it just, I don't know. It just like, after all we went through to wait for it, it was just like, okay. And now they're the Undisputed Era, and he's hurt, and so now they're going to put Wardlow to go after the World Championship. Why wouldn't he? I mean, it would have made more sense to me to say, okay, Wardlow's going to go after the International Champion, and then we're going to have Roderick Strong go for the World Champion, and Roderick Strong can give me the title because he's my best friend, and he's going to do what's best for his best friend. At least somewhere down the line, you could have set up Roderick Strong versus Adam Cole instead of Adam Cole versus Wardlow. If Wardlow wins the title, and I don't really want to see Wardlow again. Why are we going back to Wardlow and Joe?
At this point, no, he's not been built right.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. You brought Wardlow. Wardlow can be everything. And I hate this because it's not the wrestlers themselves most of the time that I'm disliking. I think Wardlow looks great. I think he has some talent there, and can be used if properly used. He's just not being used right. So it's not them. It's not Adam Cole, and this gimmick wouldn't work for him. But it's just like tonight it just fell flat. And then when you do the Undisputed Kingdom crap, you're just like, why couldn't it just been the Kingdoms back together and been done with it? You have the Ring of Honor right, so I mean it wouldn't have been any infringement. But we're just pushing this Undisputed. You want to be so different from WWE, Tony, right? You want to be this competitor to them. You want to be the last of the outlaws of professional wrestling, where everybody else has come. You stand on the name of giants, you stand on the tales of, Cowboy Bill Watts and the Crockett family and the Gagne family and the Von Erich family names, and on Dusty and on the Briscoes and on Eddie Graham and all these big names that you say, they came and they tried to compete with. You stand on the names of the Jarretts and the Lawlers, and you want to come out and be like, I stand here, and the guys that Ring of Honor that, all these other companies came and they fell to the great juggernaut, forgetting that TNA still exists, by the way. And you want to say your name stands on the shoulders of these men. But you don't, yeah. But you want to use Undisputed, which is a WWE thing. Adam Cole was Undisputed Era, and that's tied to WWE. And anybody who watched Undisputed Era or watched NXT at that time, and that's who you're targeting by using that Undisputed thing. That's all tied back to WWE. So, I mean, what are you making yourself different since you're calling it Undisputed Era? As soon as we hear Undisputed Era and we see Adam Cole and kind of Roderick Strong, I don't even know if Roderick Strong felt like a big part of Undisputed Era originally, because originally it was Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish. That was like the Undisputed Era. Then Roderick Strong eventually joined.
Right.
But I mean, it's just like, if you're going to use Undisputed, it's going to feel lackluster because it's going to feel like you're just trying to write a gimmick that was made in WWE. And I'm sure maybe Adam Cole wanted Undisputed in there, but I'm like, Tony, you want to differentiate yourself. You want to stand on the shoulder of these great giants. Oh, by the way, you also would stand on, another man that you really don't like called Jim Cornette, because he actually had his own promotion too, called Smoky Mountain Wrestling, where one of your biggest stars started. The Thrill Seekers tag team, Lance Storm and Christopher Jericho. Yeah. Yes. Just because we are on the topic of AEW, don't forget that Wrestle Kingdom, we have Bryan Danielson going one-on-one with Kazuchika Okada for a rematch from Forbidden Door. It sure is going to be a banger, yes. Can't wait to see what Okada does. By the way, on January 15th, TNA Plus is supposed to go live. The TNA Plus app, the revamped one under Endeavor, is going live. And now they are not going to have pay-per-view events for TNA. They're going to be premium live events. So I can figure out
that recently. I was like, really?
So that's why it's got everybody talking that there's a possibility that TNA's definition of World Collides may mean something different than we thought it means. I mean, you never know who's going to show up. Could there be a venture partnership between WWE and TNA beyond just the fact that they're both under the Endeavor umbrella in some form, fashion, or not? Because WWE did have a pay-per-view called Worlds Collide with NXT 205 right. Live, NXT UK, and so we don't know. We're waiting to see the big announcement tomorrow night. If you don't know, I did a whole rant on what that possibly could be. Could it be the TNA WWE partnership? Could it be they're going to announce Rock versus Roman for the Elimination Chamber? Could it be the TV deal that everybody's assuming that WWE is going to go on to Warner Brothers Discovery? They're going to either be on TNT and TBS. Which, what does that do to Tony Khan? I'd like to see Tony Khan and FX trying to get 5 minutes of overrun. Well, we'll see. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, before we get off on a tangent, run down a horse on another trail. This is the Value Wrestling. That is Mr. Paulus Clarke. I'm the Big Time. This has been your AEW Dynamite review for January 3rd, the first of the new year, and it didn't come out banging like the new year. But yeah, this is the Value Wrestling. We appreciate you for being here. We thank you for joining us each and every time that we're here. Make sure you hit that like button. Give us a big thumbs up. It helps out with the algorithm. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications. Always feel free to drop your comments if you're coming in here and watching us later. We want to thank you for taking time out of your day, your night, for being here. We appreciate you. Make sure if you're new here to hit that subscribe button. We are getting closer and closer to 200. Of course, our goal for 2024 is 1,000 and beyond. Just because we hit 1,000 doesn't mean we're going to stop going. We're going to blow this thing out of the water in 2024. We're going to change the way the game is played. You wait and see what we're reaching for that 1,000. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to say sayonara, so long, goodbye. And until the next one, we are out.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits, some losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip, you choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
Yeah. There's no mercy in this world, just hunger-thirsty persons in different versions. Each new update, that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that all seem to cause disturbance. Yo, so do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
That's it, the end of the song. Next time you'll sing along. Trust me, there's nothing wrong. I just need to carry on, cause society's a myth put there to make you sit. Listen to what they give. Don't ask questions, shut your lid. Yeah, don't ask questions, shut your lid. I need to run away from this and go get off the grid. Feel like my brain is overloaded, man, I'm losing it. Don't let them tell you what to